What's going on, y'all? JT here with an unboxing of the long, highly anticipated associated rival MT8. We've been waiting on this thing for months and months and months and months, at least 5 or 6 months, and it's finally here. So I picked mine up from Tiny Adventures RC. There's going to be a link in the description. If you pre-order one, you should be getting yours out soon too. Everybody should probably be getting theirs in the next couple of days. And everybody's been waiting on this truck to kind of see what it looks like, some of the speed testing and stuff for. So I'm going to do an unboxing here, and then stay tuned later this afternoon because we're going to go ahead and do some speed tests on 4S and 6S to see what kind of speeds we get with this car. And then I'll take it out to do a little bashing too, and see how it handles. Now I know the truck is pretty fast. I've seen the promo videos and stuff for it, and I think it's going to be really, really fast on 6S. But let me go ahead and let's get this open. Let's see what we got inside. And you guys know, oh yeah, gotta love the smell of a new RC car. And look at that, that looks nice up in there. So let me go ahead, let me get this out, get the tools and everything out in a booklet that's included with it, and let's see what we got. All right, y'all, we got this out, and this looks beefy and good. Good job associated with this. Can't wait to test this out. So before we get into the truck real quick, let's look at what we got. So of course we got the radio here. It's the XP120, and it looks to be a little bit different. The mode may be a little different. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember about the other ones, but you guys see there on the steering wheel, they made it like it's got a rotor and a little disc pad and stuff on there. So that's actually pretty cool. That's a little unique to this, and it gives it kind of a little uniqueness to this as well. And of course, you have all your basic trims and stuff on this radio here. And then you get your bag of goodies. You do get some tools and stuff with it. I do recommend that you go ahead and check the wheel nuts. That's with every car, just to make sure everything's tight. And you do have tools in there to do that. And then you got an instruction manual on the SC1500 speed controller. So I'd recommend, if this is your first time getting a truck like this, go through the instruction manual for the speed controller. Check the settings and stuff, because sometimes the brakes are set too strong or too light, and they should give you step-by-step instructions on how to change that. And then you get an instruction manual too. And if this is your first truck, or if you like doing it kind of like me, I just kind of browse through the instruction manual just to kind of see what we got there for that, and just to familiarize myself with the truck too. So get all this stuff aside real quick, and let's look at this beauty we got here. Finally, I'm like, oh my gosh, finally got it in. So shed a little light on here so we can get a little bit more up close and personal. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. Looking at this, so you guys see the design here is just kind of like they did with the 10 scale rival, and I believe the 10 scale rival was a twist off. You may have to unscrew all those. Let's see real quick. That probably just unscrews and pops off. So I'll look at that in just a little bit, because I am going to check my wheel nuts to make sure they are screwed on there tight. And I do recommend you do that for any new car you get. But looking at this actually looks good. This comes with lights in the front. I don't believe it's lights in the rear of it. Yep, it's lights in the rear of it too. And this is not a Kaiju, guys. I'm going to get my Kaiju out and show that to you side by side. So I know some people are like, oh, it's just a Kaiju chassis. No, it's not. This is actually a different design. It does have a 4mm chassis to it. So we're going to work our way from the outside and actually work our way from the outside in, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. So with this vehicle, you do get some roof rails you guys see there on top of here. So if you are running and you flip this truck back, you're not eating it to your body. And you do get a little spoiler on the back too, and that is a hard plastic. With the tires and wheels, they feel okay. They feel a little soft, so they may do some ballooning. I'm not sure of what kind of diff oil they have in here, but the compound and stuff seems pretty good for these. Doesn't seem like it's going to be too much a problem with this, with traction and everything, but I would be concerned about if you're running this, maybe a little bit of ballooning. But we'll get this running and see, and maybe have to put some thicker oil in the center diff and probably in the front rear diff, but we'll get this out and see. The look of this actually looks mean. I'm probably going to lower it down just a little bit, and you guys see that you can lower this down. This comes at about a medium ride height, so I am going to lower it down a little bit. And I may adjust the droop screws just a little bit if it's got some on there. I'm pretty sure it does, to lower the truck down a little bit, because it does sit, for me, a little bit high, especially doing a super speed Saturday test I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't want to flip the truck back. I normally try to run them in stock form, but I know that this is set pretty high, so I do want to lower it down just a little bit to see how it performs. So if I do anything like that, I'll let you guys know when I run it. But the truck looks good, and the suspension setup is good too. Look at that. That's actually set up real good. So, I mean, I've never doubted associated with their cars and stuff. I had the original rival. I did put up kind of a throwback video to that so you guys can see. I no longer have that truck. It's been years since I've had that truck, and it was actually discontinued. But that truck was good. It just needed a little bit more power. But once you change that power a little bit and adjust that speed controller, you were pretty much good to go. And that's good. The lights and all that stuff's not attached to the body. So you guys can see here the inside of the body and what that looks like there. It should be fine. I may or may not tape it up, but this body actually seems pretty thick, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And I did see that they did have parts and stuff for it available. So if you start breaking parts, orange, you ain't got to wait a long time to get parts. And that may be the reason why this was delayed for so long. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, looking at this truck on the inside, this looks beefy and nice. I think Associated did a good job with this. And like I said, some people are thinking that this is like a Kaiju when it's not. I mean, it may use these rear turn buckles back here that are somewhat designed like, but I'm going to get my Kaiju EXT out and my other Kaiju just to do a side-by-side comparisons with these. But you guys see here, you do have big bore threaded aluminum body shocks with this. I'm not sure what weight is in this these shocks, but this is set up pretty good, so I'm not too worried about that. And I love it that they're actually adding this center chassis brace here attached to here and then attached there. So it's going to give some stability with this. And remember, this has a 4mm chassis, so it's got a pretty thick chassis. I don't expect this to bend upon jumping. I guess if you go 30, 40 feet, who knows? Anything can bend and break. But with 4mm, it's a lot thicker than what I've seen in a lot of other standard kits. I think I've seen up to standard being a 3.2, that may be what the new Traxxas truck has. But this should be fine as it is out the box and how it's going to run. Looking at a couple other things, this is a 150 amp speed controller, and I'm gonna flip this around real quick. And I believe this is a 2100 kV motor. And yes, it is. You guys see, get that to zoom in back there, a 2100 kV motor with that. And it does allow you to be able to adjust the pinion gear easy. You're probably just gonna remove that one screw there, and this probably pops off. I don't know exactly for sure, but this probably pops off. I don't think there's any other screw up in there. And then of course you can loosen these two screws up, put a bigger pinion and move that over. I don't know right offhand what pinion gear this has up in here, and I didn't see a speed gear or anything like that, but I think it should be pretty much fine stock out the box with that. But this looks good, guys. Look at this. And look at this wheelie bar. This is why people probably thought it was designed or looking like the Kaiju, because of this wheelie bar, and then they saw this back here and they're like, oh, it's a Kaiju. But this is not a Kaiju. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get my Kaiju real quick. All right, there you guys go. Kaiju EXT here, rival MT8 here. The Kaiju is a tad bit longer. You guys can see that there. The wheelbase is a little bit longer than that of the Associated truck, and it sits a little bit higher because of these big tires and wheels. But that's about most of the similarities that they have there. And I mentioned the front of this, but look how much beefier these actually look, if you guys can see that compared to the two. So the Kaijus are a little bit thinner and the Associateds are a lot thicker here. So that's some of the differences. The shocks look about the same, if you guys can see that there. It's just that Associated kind of put their touch of this blue in there so that you kind of know Associated truck. And then of course the chassis, this is a plastic chassis, this is an aluminum chassis. So there's big differences there. You guys see the way the motors are mounted. This is mounted more in the mid, in the center of the car, and this is of course mounted more towards the rear. And then this is what I talked about with these rear turnbuckles. But this one on the Associated actually looks a lot beefier and thicker than that of the Kaiju. Excuse my mess in there, y'all. I ain't had time to clean this up before this video. But you guys see there are two totally different trucks. So it's not like, I know people were considering that, thinking that they were the same, but they're not. And then of course the wheelie bars and stuff, you guys can see the wheelie bars. The tires look a little bit almost the same, as like the Associated one looks a little bit beefier to me. So those are some of the only similarities between the two. Even the motors, they both have a 2100 kV motor, but that's a 4068. And let me see what this Associated. Yeah, I don't know what can size the Associated one is, but I believe they may be the same. It may just be a different marking on there. But you guys see here with the Red Cat, it does not have those little fins like heat sinks built into the motor, like the Kaiju doesn't have and the Associated does. But this does come with the fan, which is good. And I may actually hook this fan up to this motor. Actually, I may just I'm gonna ride from one and put on the other, so I may just actually do that. But if you guys don't have a Kaiju, you guys know now that this fan will actually fit on there, and we can mount this right inside there for that. So I'm probably gonna do that and just buy another fan, because I do want to keep this cool just a little bit. with it. But other than that, you guys see differences. Battery trays, battery. This has got straps on. This has actually got a different strap for it. I am a little bit concerned about the battery tray, but we'll see what kind of light bulbs we can fit in there for 4S and 6S. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do this while we got this unboxing on. So let me get a couple of batteries and see what kind of batteries we can fit in there. All right, y'all, I got a few batteries, and I'm going to turn this light off for a minute to get some of this glare going. Look at that. It's just bling, shining there. So right off the bat, this is a 6300 4S SMC, and you see that it won't fit in there, but don't be worried about that because you can adjust this battery tray. You see these 4 screws here. You can unscrew that and then push this forward to get a little bit, maybe about 1/4 of an inch, which will actually fit this in there. And I'll do that in just a minute. But this is it's kind of torn out there, but this is a 6300 milliamp 4S LiPo. And then I got another 4S LiPo, one of my new Hovo 4S LiPo 6200. And I'll probably run this one. This is a newer battery. And this fits actually in there perfectly. It's a hard case LiPo, and you can strap this over. Now it does come with this casing that you can kind of put over top, but I don't think anybody's really going to use this. But if you're going to use this 4S LiPo, this will be a perfect fit for us. So I will put links in the description to both of these LiPos, the SMC LiPos, and then also for this particular LiPo too. And now for 6S LiPos, I know this 4000 will fit up in there because it is a shorter, smaller 4000. It's kind of what I use in my buggy. So this will fit in there fine with a little bit of room. But what I want to see is my 7200 milliamp LiPo. And putting this in here, it's not really going to fit. So I am going to have to go in. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. If y'all want to wait a second, loosen this up just a bit. All 4 of these. And we'll extend this battery tray up. All right, that should be loosened up enough to slide that forward. You guys saw how that slid forward. And we're gonna move these straps, and this 72 should fit in here. It's gonna be a tight fit, or actually a really tight fit. So the 72 may not fit. Oh, there it goes. So it'll fit in there. These wires kind of push this over to the side, and there you go. So the 72 will fit up here, and these straps will flip over and fasten for that. And then with my SMC 4000s, you can put it in either way, but I'll probably put it in like this, and that is a perfect fit there for that too. So you can put bigger batteries in here. Just loosen those 4 screws up. Try to get this out real quick. There we go. And loosen those 4 screws up to fit bigger or longer batteries in here. And with these straps, I probably wouldn't, if I were you guys, worry about this too much. That's just going to get in your way when you're strapping in batteries and stuff. So, but other than that, I'm not going to go too much more in depth. I made this unboxing longer than I had kind of wanted to, but it does have a couple other features I'm going to talk about real quick. You guys see it has adjustable body mounts in the front and the rear. So if you want to put different bodies on it, you can do that. And we'll talk about that at some other point. And look at how thick these shock towers are. There's plastic in there, but that's pretty thick and beefy. Looking at that front and rear. So that's pretty good. And the wheelie bar, as you guys know, is adjustable. You guys can see unscrew there, and you can adjust it back some. You got 4 positions to actually adjust that wheelie bar with. And then I showed you guys the underside of the chassis, but this is going to be good. This is going to be fun to take this out and get this running. So like I said, stay tuned later on today. I will do a Super Speed Saturday test, stock out the box on 4S and then also on 6S. And we'll see what kind of performance we get, and then we'll take it off road a little bit later today, our first thing tomorrow afternoon. But I mean, aluminum servo horn. I don't know. It says 2513 MG metal. It's a Metal Gear servo, and is that 25 kilograms? Yeah, I don't know the speed of this though. I don't know if you can adjust it to 6.0 volts to 7.2 or 4, whatever. But I'll look at the instruction manual to find out. I'll try to give you guys an update on that tomorrow. But that's going to be a quick look at this. Like I said, you can get these. Tiny Adventures RC has them in stock. You can go ahead and use that link. If you pre-order them for them, they should be shipping out or shipped out to you. You should be getting in the next day or two. Or if you guys want to, you can go ahead and order some from there. And like I said, this is $509. It's going to cost you about $540 total with tax, and get it shipped to you in a couple days. So that's going to be a look at this. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So I'm hoping it's going to live up to the hype. I'm pretty sure it will, because the 10 scale one was great. And the one before this, the original rifle, was great. So anyway, guys, put your comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.